Hi guys, welcome to this video. I just wanted to share with you a purchase I made on eBay recently, or rather a couple of purchases. You can just see top left I've managed to buy not one but two PowerMac G5s. This is the higher spec of the two. This is the quad-core version, which was pretty much the last one they did before they went over to Intel processors. So I just want to show you what it's about, have a look around it, and then I'll show you via screen capture some of the software I've installed and how it runs. So to the front of the machine you've got the Apple SuperDrive, which is a DVD reader and a CD rewriter, and then further down you've got the power button, USB and Firewire and headphone sockets. To the rear you've got three PCI slots and then the PCI Express GeForce 6600 card for graphics with 256 megs of RAM. You've then got dual gigabit Ethernet, Firewire 800 and 400, optical and analog audio in and out, and then three USB ports. To the side, I just want to have a quick look inside. It's a wonderful piece of engineering this. You just lift that latch and then this side panel just pulls off, revealing the inside. And then towards the top you've got the optical drive, some fans, and the hard disk area there. Got two hard disks in there. And then further down, if I just remove this, we're now completely open. You can run the machine with the aluminium side panel off, providing that that plastic panel is there. So to the front you've just got some intake fans for this middle section. And then you've got the three PCI slots and the PCI Express graphics slot. In the third chamber down, I'll just take this unit off. You can see the RAM slots there. 8 RAM slots. I've got 6.5 gigs in this at the moment, but you can put up to 16 gigabytes of DDR2 RAM in. And then this other part here is the processor. And just to show you, that's all heatsink. These did run pretty hot, so a good quarter of that enclosure is the heat sinks for the processors. On the quad-core version, this one, you've actually got a liquid cooling system. On all the other ones, it was a a fan cooling system. What I really like about the design of this, it was the first product that Apple made that was an aluminium enclosure rather than the plastic and steel ones they've made. And if you look closely, you can see 4 actual specific enclosures. You've got, at the top, you've got your optical drive and your hard disks. Then you've got your expansion slots. Then you've got your processor and your RAM. And at the bottom, hidden here, you've actually got the PSU is built into this section at the bottom. And what they were really clever in doing is that the whole front is just one piece of mesh. And you've got fans located in each of the chambers and temperature sensors in each of the chambers, so that cooling only happens when it's necessary. It's not a case that the fans run all the time in every single chamber. If it detects that the hard drives are getting a bit hot, it will turn those fans on. If it thinks that the processor is getting hot, it will turn those fans and those fans on. And the power supply, if it gets a bit hot, it just turns on the fans for the power supply. So these were really cool machines in more ways than one. As part of this deal, the guy also gave me that Apple Studio monitor down there, but I can't use it as of yet. I'm just waiting for an adapter because that monitor takes an ADC connector and this machine uses a DVI connector. So I've had to buy a little converter box which is coming in the mail. But what I'll do now, guys, is I'll just hook this back up to the TV and I'll give you a quick rundown of the software that's installed and what it's like in terms of performance. Okay, so now I'll give you a quick run through over the machine itself, some of the software and things that are installed on it. First thing I'll do is just show you some more details about this Mac. You can see we're running on OS X 10.5.8, which is Leopard. We've got 4 2.5 GHz PowerPC G5 processors. It's actually 2 dual-core processors rather than 4 individual processors. We've got 6.5 gig of DDR RAM. I want to upgrade that to 8 gig when I get a chance. Let's just have a look at some more info. So the important things on here, sadly no Bluetooth, hence why I'm sat on the floor cross-legged with a USB keyboard. No airport either, but we've got those dual gigabit Ethernet ports on the back. Graphics wise, we've got an NVIDIA GeForce 6600 with 256 megs of RAM. And on this display we're running at 1920 by 1080, which is full HD. You can go up to 1600 lines using this card on dual monitors if you had monitors that support it. I'm actually going to be running dual monitors on this. I'm going to run a full HD display and then that Apple Studio display that I showed you as well, just because I think it looks cool. In terms of hard drives, I've got two in this machine. I've got my primary drive, which is a 2 terabyte drive, which has the OS and all of my files and stuff on it. And then I've got a second 80 gig drive. The 80 gig drive was part of the deal when I bought the machine. And basically I've just put a copy of the OS onto there before I started putting all my personal files on, so that if that primary drive fails, I can just do a quick restore from the other one. So let's have a quick look at some of the apps. I've installed a few things on this. I had an 09 copy of iLife sitting around, so I've installed that. We've got iPhoto, iMovie, iDVD, Garageband and iWeb. 09's not that long ago. When I first started using Macs around that time, I had iLife 09. The newer version does have some newer features, but I tell you, I actually prefer the 09 version of iMovie to the new version. I just find it a lot more intuitive and a lot easier to work with. We've also got Garageband that I use quite a lot. Typically on my Mac Mini I use Garageband for music production, but I might do a bit of work on this as well. Just to show you, I've copied a few loops onto here. So you can easily create music using Garageband. Of course you could use a USB interface with your guitar or something, plug that in and actually create real music using GarageBand. I've also put VLC on here, which is great for playing back movie files that QuickTime can't play back. iShow UHD is a piece of commercial software that I use. It's actually the software that I'm using to do this screen capture. And then we've got Office 2004 on here as well, which includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint and Entourage, which was the Mac equivalent of Outlook. They've now just called it Outlook on the new version. I've also installed 10.4 G5 web browser, which is, they quote to be the best web browser for PowerPC based Macs. You do get Safari on here. Safari runs perfectly well, but it's getting a bit long in the tooth now. It doesn't support HTML5. They haven't produced a version for PowerPC that will support HTML5. This does. It's based off of Firefox. And just to show you, I mean, you can play back YouTube videos with no problem whatsoever.
The new PowerMac G5 is the world's first personal computer with a 64-bit processor, accelerating everything from 3D animation to scientific computation.
There you go, they made Finding Nemo on one of these. Who knew? I'll just show you also while I'm here, this can play back full HD video. It might look a bit ropey to you guys because you're watching a captured screen, but for me it looks more or less spot on. Obviously I'm not running full screen because it wouldn't do the screen capture. I'm running it in a window, but on my end this looks absolutely spot on. It's running at full resolution, it's running at full speed. It probably looks a bit laggy for you guys because you're watching a screen capture. And it's important to realise that as well as playing back this video, I'm also capturing the screen at 720p and using the webcam at the same time. So there you go. I really like this machine for what I got it for £110 on eBay. I had to do a little bit of work on it to get it how I wanted it, but now it's going to be my main PC when we go out where we're going to in my office. Probably going to end up doing a bit of music production on it as well. So just to show you, they're not completely worthless, they're not piles of junk. They are 8-9 years old now, the later ones, but they're still very usable machines, and I love this machine. And that's what I've got to say. Thanks for watching, guys.